Hey kids, are you ready for the last episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel? That is until next year when they have Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. Just when I thought I could get excited about something being over. It's not over, obviously. Then again, we all knew that by this point. That Saban has to have, say, Samurai, then Super Samurai, then Megaforce, then Super Megaforce, and then Dino Charge, then Dino Supercharge. Now we have uh, Ninja Steel, and then probably starting next January, January of 2018, we're going to have Power Rangers Ninja Super Steel or Super Ninja Steel, whichever one they're going with. Um, but today we're going to review uh, the last episode of what Saban is calling Power Rangers Ninja Steel, just Ninja Steel, because if history has proven me right, then yeah, the next episode, episode 21, is going to be for the start of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. So this was Power Rangers Ninja Steel episode 20, Helping Hand. A really odd one for them to go out on a season closer. Sarah the Pink Ranger is looking for a way to upgrade her hoverboard. Again, the fact that she's got a hoverboard is just kind of ridiculous. I mean, I know we were supposed to see hoverboards in 2015 thanks to movies like Back to the Future, but obviously that never happened. What we got instead was just some half-ass lame excuse for a Segway or an electric scooter without handlebars. Um, those aren't hoverboards, by the way. they're just calling them that. But in this episode, her hoverboard, which actually does hover, just like Marty McFly's did in Back to the Future, or rather Back to the Future Part 2. Sorry, it wasn't in the first one. It was in a little bit in the third one, but yeah, basically it was introduced in the movie Back to the Future Part 2 way back in oh god, I want to say that movie was like 19. I want to say it was like 1988, 1989, or something like that when Back to the Future 2 came out. But again, I don't want to ramble about the damn hoverboard of all things. But she's trying to figure out a way to make it more powerful so the battery lasts a lot longer than it should. Well, her and the Blue Ranger, they apparently when the battery dies on this thing, it throws them off of it. That makes no damn sense. Does it come to that much of a screeching halt to where it just sends the Rangers flying off the hoverboard? You figure a battery dying out on something like that, it would just gradually die out, and then it would just kind of slow down gradually, and then come to a stop safely. At least you would think it would come to a stop safely, but it didn't. So she's trying to find a way to improve the battery power in her hoverboard. When her mother, apparently, Sarah, the Pink Ranger's mother, apparently she's an inventor too. The first time we ever even get to meet her mother, you don't normally meet the parents of Rangers. It's just kind of a taboo thing. It just doesn't really happen that often. The only parents in other series that I remember recently that I remember them seeing was like say Jaden's sister from Samurai, or even Tyler's father from Dino Charge, even though he turned out to be a Ranger himself. Um, and who else recently? Shelby, her father, who ran the ice cream shop, but also in Dino Charge. Um, Again, we don't really need to know. It's good to know that the Rangers have parents. They're not just orphan bastards who are running around with superpowers. It's nice to know that they do have parents, but we can leave them out of the episodes. It's not important. They're teenagers with attitude, not teenagers with parents with attitudes. But in any case, her mother is an inventor too. Apparently, tries to come up with a way to increase the power in her hoverboard by tenfold. Well, apparently, according to the Pink Ranger, to Sarah, that's too much power. But her mother is too overzealous and just doesn't listen. Ends up putting the supercharged battery in her hoverboard, and the hoverboard goes berserk and crashes and burns, and the hoverboard is seemingly broken, and she has to fix it from scratch. Well, that's not the only thing in this episode that I had problems with, and not the only invention in this episode that I had a problem with. Victor and Monty, I guess for shop class, I guess shop now means creative, I guess, like where you can just make whatever you want. When I was a kid, shop class, you were only allowed to make like one or two things: a birdhouse, or go over and work on a car. That was it. That's the only thing you can do in shop class when I was a kid. But now I guess shop class nowadays it includes building inventions that are completely, you know, over purpose for their, for anything. So Victor and Monty, for their shop class project, decided to build a super powered magnet that apparently attracts any metal. Yeah, you know where we're going with this. You know where they're going with it. Apparently, this magnet is so powerful that at the end of the episode, it basically attracts one of the ninja stars. Not just one, all of the ninja stars that Mick apparently just had laying out on the table in the base. If he was smart, he would have had these things put away in some kind of special hiding place or some kind of container, non-magnetic container that, it just wouldn't have, that this wouldn't have happened. This is probably the biggest blunder I've ever seen in a Power Rangers episode. How many times are the Rangers going to get their Power Stars stolen just because they're not looking after them the way they should be? But again, the whole fact that the only threat in this series is the fact that the enemies want the Power Stars. That's it. They're not trying to destroy the planet, not trying to hurt people unless they get in the way. Those people get in the way of them wanting to get the Power Stars from the Rangers. So therefore, the only people putting the planet in danger are the Rangers themselves by not giving the enemies their Power Stars. But obviously, if they did that, we wouldn't have a series where superheroes are morphing and fighting against these bad guys. So I'll quit rambling about that. Sorry, it still pisses me off because the threat factor should be just a little bit higher. But there's this, again, a ridiculous monster. I don't even believe I caught the name of this monster in this series. Everything was so rushed in this series. But this monster apparently can create magical barriers that can't be penetrated by anything. Not even the Red Ranger's super Lion Star, his Mega Mode. Not even that was able to do anything to this barrier apparently. Until Sarah the Pink Ranger thinks, oh, supercharged. Okay, the supercharger my mother built to charge the battery for my hoverboard. Maybe that'll work to help supercharge the Ninja Steel, so we can make a new star, and this new star has the ability to break down his barrier. Oh my God, was that convoluted and just not necessary? Aside from these two mediocre side plots, Sarah's hoverboard and her mother's supercharger for whatever, and then Victor and Monty with their high superpowered magnet that attracts any metal ever. There really wasn't a whole lot of fighting in this episode. There was one morph sequence, obviously a Zord sequence where they have a new Zord, a new Megazord. They form the Ultra Ninja Steel Megazord in this one, which I admit is kind of cool, but again, you figure they would save something like the Ultra Ninja Steel Megazord for the end of the series, or at least near the end of the entire series. That way we had something to look forward to. No, instead they're rushing it, giving us all these powers, all these Zords in the first 20 episodes. What are we going to be left with in the next 20 episodes of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel? Is it just going to be talk? Is it just going to be more of the ass clowns Victor and Monty, and more randomly edited junk from episodes that should have already been done or passed in the Japanese series? If only the order was a little bit better of the episodes, I wouldn't be complaining so much. But the fact that they're using mid to end series clips in beginning episodes, like the first 20 episodes, they're using clips from like episode like 42 or 35, from Shuriken Sentai Ninja from the Japanese series. They're using clips from that far ahead in the Japanese series in like the first few episodes of the American series. And that's not right. It doesn't seem right. The order is off. It's why if a lot of people seem like the editing is just so jumbled in this series, it's because it is. It's not right whatsoever. At least in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, at least they use early footage for early footage. That was fine. The progression seemed much more natural, and fans of the Japanese series could pick up what's happening in the American series much easier. Saban's just figuring that, oh, kids and people in America, they haven't seen the Japanese series, so I can do whatever I want with this footage. Here, let's take the final fight of the entire goddamn series, and let's put it in episode 10. No! Don't do that. What are you leaving for the actual end then? I mean, if we've already gotten out the best fight scenes from Ninja in the first 20 episodes of Ninja Steel, what do we have to look forward to in the next 20 episodes for next year? What do we have to look forward to at all? So far, I'm kind of thinking nothing. Like maybe a couple of new Zords and more exposition. Enemy development. We don't want enemy development in the last 20 episodes of a series. We want the enemy development in the first 20 episodes of a series. Develop the enemy good early on, that way there's something harder for the Rangers to fight for later on in the series. That just makes sense to me. But again, aside from the end of this episode being the formation of the Ultra Ninja Steel Megazord, they defeat the barrier creating monster relatively easily after that. The episode ends once again with the Ass Clowns, Victor and Monty, with their high-powered magnet. Oh, Victor, he wants to make this worth his while. He wants to get rich. So he points the magnet at the school? I mean, yeah, the thing looks like an oversized metal detector. Why don't you go to the beach or go into the woods or something with that and look for shit that way? No, you're just going to point it at the school? You could be attracting somebody's change jar in their school locker or something and just ripping somebody completely off. Yeah, that makes you look like a cool guy. But no, even worse, when he points it at the school, the magnet sucks up all the power stars from the Rangers' secret base right through the wall. But all of a sudden, this is the even more unbelievable part, is once all of the Ninja Stars have been attracted to the magnet and are attached, and Victor and Monty are looking at them, oh, what are these? Oh, these look important. Galvanax and his goons come out of nowhere and take the Ninja Stars, the Power Stars. The only saving grace is that they abducted Victor and Monty. Thank Christ, maybe they'll get tortured. But I doubt it, because, oh, this is supposed to be PC for kids. So yeah, we can't show these two ass clowns up in space, actually, on their ship, actually getting tortured, whipped, or burned, or stretched, or anything. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to see any torture of those. So they're just going to tie them up, hold them hostage, and say, Rangers, we have these two humans, blah, 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 and your power stars, come and give us the rest of your power stars, and we'll let these two humans go, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I couldn't care less. Let them fry. It's Victor and Monty. I hate those two characters. Anyone else out there who hates them, give this video a thumbs up, because I hate them. This series would be 10 times better without those two, and focusing more on the Rangers and their dilemmas. No, we have to have 5 minutes of the Rangers and 10 minutes of Victor and Monty. It's not right. These two aren't Bulk and Skull. They're never going to be Bulk and Skull. I know I've said this before. I'm sounding like a broken record, but I just can't stand it. So the only thing good that happened in this entire episode, seemingly the last episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, before we go to Super Ninja Steel, we end with Victor and Monty getting abducted, along with most of the Rangers' supplementary power stars. Obviously, the stars that they need to morph, they keep with them all the time. So obviously they don't have all the power stars. But what do you want to bet that the very first episode of Power Rangers Ninja Super Steel, or Super Ninja Steel, is going to be a bargaining chip episode, where they're basically going to try to barter Victor and Monty for the Rangers' other power stars. And, whoa, I have all the power stars. I'll rule the galaxy now. I'm so exhausted, guys. I am thankful that it looks like I get a bit of a break after this review is over. I get a break for at least a couple of months until January of 2018, where they're going to start um, the next and last 20 episodes of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, whatever they call it, Super Ninja Steel, Ninja Super Steel, whatever, I don't care. But obviously, I'll be reviewing those as well. I'm trying to give you my honest opinions on these guys. I'm not trying to hate on it too much. I know a lot of people out there, they like Power Rangers no matter how silly or serious it can be. Myself, I can enjoy some silly aspects of certain series, but it's all about how you set it up. It's all about the characters. As long as the characters take themselves seriously and take their responsibilities, their powers seriously, I'll take the jokes that come seriously. But so far in this series, a whole 20 episodes, and I can't take any of these characters seriously. None of them want to take their own power seriously. They're all just taking it for granted because everything's being handed to them. They're not learning anything. They're not they're not growing or developing as characters as they should be properly, to give us enough of an indication that yeah, these are superheroes that we should care for and cheer on and not want anything bad to happen to them. But I kind of want them all to just kind of drop into a pit of non-existence. I just want it to all go away, and I can't wait for the next American series to be adapted, which I already know is going to be Uchu Sentai Q Ranger, which as of right now is a huge hit, huge success in Japan. From what I've seen of it, I love it so much that I'm overly excited for that series to come from Japan here to America. And we're going to be seeing that in 2019. And if anybody knows anything about it, it's supposed to be the largest group of Rangers ever, even beating out Dino Charge. Even though Dino Charge, they left out one Ranger even. So that was in Japan, but they never used here in America. They left out Death Ryuger or Kyoryu Navy from Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger. They left that out completely. Didn't even mention him or show him. They used a Zord, the Tobo Spino Zord, which is basically the Spinosaurus. Anyone knows what that is? If you've ever seen, like, say, Jurassic Park 3, you'd know what a Spinosaurus is. It's the big finned dinosaur with the long snout that kicked the T-Rex's butt, which just obviously was unbelievable, as well. But not talking about Dino Charge, talking about Ninja Steel. But thankfully, I don't have to talk about Ninja Steel anymore for at least a couple of months. So please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. You know the deal. I'm Paul, the Swordsman. This is Rangers Ready Go. I will see you guys later this week with another collector's review. And then after that, that's probably what I'll be doing for a little while, is collector's reviews, cosplay, and Comic-Con news updates, and things like that to keep the channel going until the next episode of Ninja Steel in January. But I do have plenty of collector's reviews on the queue to upload. I just got to finish editing them and doing what I have to do to satiate myself for the time being. So until next time, guys, Rangers Ready, go.